It's Robert here from robertcbrown.online. I hope you're having a fabulous day wherever you are in the world today. And today's video, we're going to be talking about how to build your self-image. We're going to get stuck into the why, what and how of building self-image. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you some places to go for more resources and support if you should be looking for that as well. So if that all sounds enticing, it's got your mouth watering, are you ready to go? Glad to hear it. Let's crack on. Right, so before we get stuck into the why of building self-esteem, why it's so important, you're probably looking at my chin going, what the heck's going on there? Well, I had a little fight with my razor this morning and I came off second best. So I'm just waiting for it all to heal up, and I had a plaster on it, but it didn't do much good. Never mind. It'll all be gone in a day or two. I digress. How to build self-esteem. But more importantly, to start with, why you need to build self-image, self-esteem. Why? Why is it so important? Well, here's why. Because essentially, we will always achieve up to a predefined limit, a kind of ceiling of expectation that we set for ourselves, depending on our level of self-image or self-belief. It's a false ceiling for most of us. We can achieve way more, but we've been conditioned over time by external stimulus, by our peers, by our family, to maybe expect less of ourselves than we can be. And I'm here to tell you that that is a choice you don't have to make. You see, your self-image will really control whether or not you soar like an eagle or you flap around on the ground like a turkey, never going anywhere. It really comes down to what you believe about yourself on an inner subconscious level. Do you feel like a winner, or do you feel like somebody who's always going to fall short? You see, if you go into any situation kind of subconsciously expecting to fail, that's what you'll get. If you go into it expecting to succeed, then you'll succeed. Whatever we confidently expect to show up is what shows up. And that's why it's so important to go to work on your internal image of you, what you think of you. You see, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of you. That's just external stuff. Nothing external to you can stop you from being, doing and having anything in life. But you can. You can stop you. Or you can tweak some stuff, go to work on you, and propel yourself to some dizzying heights of success. It's just a choice and a commitment to taking some action. So now we've cleared that up, let's talk about what you need to avoid and what you need to get more of in your life. I mean, clearly what you need to avoid is anything of a negative nature. Anything where people are putting you down and trying to convince you that things are beyond your ability to achieve. Anything like that, that is trying to keep you down, keep you in that like pigeonhole that they have you in, probably because of their own self-limiting beliefs that they're now imposing on you. Anybody who's like that, anybody who's constantly poo-pooing everything you come up with, restrict your access to them, restrict your exposure to those people. Get around people who are upwardly mobile with their thoughts. They're enthusiastic, they're positive, they're action takers. They're great to be around because they exude positive energy. And to be around them enthuses you and gives you a drive and a passion for life. And not only life, but for what you can achieve with your life, with your business, whatever's important to you. Get around the right people. Remember, one bad apple in a basket sooner or later will turn the rest rotten too. If you have a bad apple in your life, or maybe more than one bad apple, make sure there's some space between you and them and get closer to people who have a healthy, success-oriented mindset, because that rubs off and that will support you to be more as a person, which will enable you to do more and ultimately have more. Alright, so let's take that on to another level and talk about some proactive ways that you can address things and start building your self-esteem up. Now, we've talked about the fact that your exposure to negative stimulus and positive stimulus is going to have an entirely different effect, and it will ultimately change the results or the outcomes that show up in your life. So you need less negative stuff, less of the stuff that's going to keep you down, right, to keep you suppressed, and more of the stuff that's going to help you become more. Be, do, have. Remember the formula. So ultimately what we need to do is recognize that with any negative stimulus, it's kind of like weeds in the garden, right? You don't have to tend your garden for weeds to show up. If you look the other way and you look back, you got weeds. But if you want roses, you got to work at that, right? You've got to care for those roses. You've got to protect them. And you've got to enable them, make the environment dead right for them to grow and flourish into beautiful roses. It's the same with your self-image. If you don't pay any attention to your self-image, if you don't go to work on yourself, the weeds will grow. In other words, the negativity will flourish. You'll get it from other people. You'll get it from negative self-talk. You see, what happens is when you get negative strokes in your external world, your psyche then goes to work on finding evidence to support that. Your negative self-talk will support that. And over a very short period of time, you end up being programmed on a default level to just go there naturally without even thinking. And you may well be there now, and we can fix that. But if you're not, let's try and make sure that doesn't happen. So here's the prescription for that. You remember when I was speaking about the roses, I said, look, you've got to tend to roses if you want them to grow and to flourish into beautiful roses. Well, if you want your self-image to grow to a point where you become the type of person that can go out there and create the life and business of your dreams, then you need to go to work on yourself. Start caring for yourself. It's not so much about having a great soil, but it's more about having great input into your brain, into your subconscious. It all feeds down. You see, your subconscious is like a tape machine. It's just going all the time, listening to everything. It doesn't ever question anything, by the way. It just takes it as that's what you believe, and then it'll go out there and seek evidence to support it, to create another belief. So what you need to do is start feeding positive, supportive stuff in. Again, if you hang around positive people, success-oriented people, passionate, driven, enthusiastic, it's going to rub off. That energy goes into you. The stuff they share will go into you and infuse you and change your energy totally. And you'll start to buy into it because you'll feel good. And if you feel good, you're going to start that kind of reaction, that process of taking what comes in, seeking evidence to now prove that to be right. And then you're overwriting negative belief systems with positive, more supportive belief systems. You can do other stuff too, by the way. You can meditate yourself 3 times a day. Meditate. Clear your mind as much as possible. Stop the annoying chatter that's going on just for a moment. Ask for clarity. Ask for answers to your biggest questions. And then go meditate. You'll be surprised, at first at least, when the answers start showing up. It works. I want you to meditate in the morning 15 minutes, 15 minutes in the afternoon, and 15 minutes in the evening. You should make a point of putting time in your calendar to have with yourself for 15 minutes 3 times a day. What I also want you to do is create index cards with your affirmations on there. Carry them around with you. When you get 5 minutes quiet, go through your affirmations. Say them as though you mean them. Say them as though what you're affirming has already showed up, and really get clever with this. Really start to imagine it showed up and step into the feeling of already having attained it, because that's where the magic happens. That's when you can start to manifest stuff. That's when stuff starts to change inside, which in turn empowers you to become more, do more, and have more. It's a knock-on effect. It's ripples in the pond. That's the way it works. So we've spoken about meditation, and we've spoken about affirmations and visualization. So important. Learn to visualize things clearly. Start by practicing with simple things in your home. Spend two minutes, no longer, analysing every detail of something. Then close your eyes and try and recall that image in every detail with your eyes closed. Eventually you'll be able to see it as well with your eyes closed as you could with your eyes open. It's like a muscle. You can get really, really good at visualization. But you know what? I've saved the best till last. Oftentimes, what will support a low self-image is the feeling of being out of control and having no direction in life. So I implore you to set goals. Every high achiever, everybody who's got a really, really good self-image, a powerful self-image, will set goals. They're voracious goal setters and achievers. Start small. Start with small goals that are easily achievable. But when you achieve those goals, really celebrate. Really step into feeling good. Because every time you do, the muscle grows. Your self-belief and your self-image grows. And eventually, trust me, you become an unstoppable force. Nothing can shake the foundations of your belief in you. To that end, I'm also going to give you access to a free download of my Smart Goal Setting workshop. This is a workshop I've delivered in a live environment many, many times, and I'd like you to have it. I've condensed it down so that what was normally delivered in a half-day workshop can now be done very, very quickly and very effectively. You don't have to sit in a classroom for half a day or maybe a day sometimes to try and get these things handled. You can take that with my blessing, put it to work, and start to see it work in your life. The more it works in your life, the more results you get, the better your self-image becomes, and the more you can achieve. It's as simple as that. I'm going to give you the formula. All you've got to do is take the action. So if you want that goal setting workshop, you can download it at robertcbrown.online/goals. robertcbrown.online/goals. I'm going to put the link below the video as well, just in case you need to just click the link, and or if for some reason you're not hearing what I'm saying clearly, it'll be there as well. So go get that, put it to use, and you'll see the results show up. I promise you. All you need to do is take the action. That's it. I'm going to wrap up now. It's gone on a bit longer, but I'm passionate about this stuff, and I really wanted to get the message across that if you're currently not where you want to be, then one of the key factors in you going from where you are to where you want to be is literally your self-image, how you feel about you and what you feel you're capable of doing. You can talk a good talk, you see, on the outside. Everybody can. We all can. But do you really believe it on the inside? When you can get your level of belief on the inside to match the stuff you can say on a conscious level, out loud, world's your oyster. You can do anything you want. So, okay. Once again, hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm here pretty much every day doing these things. So come back and check me out. In fact, why don't you, while you're here, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you get notified when I create the videos. Oh, nearly tripped over that. When I create the videos. And if you want to dig even further and get more resources, get across to my website, robertcbrown.online, robertcbrown.online, join my email list, which gets you into my community. My community is full of like-minded individuals who are all there pursuing personal development and spiritual alignment and are all committed to making a positive difference in this world of ours. If that's you, I'd love to welcome you there too. So that's it. Sorry it's been so long. Hope you got value. I'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.